Good evening, you filthy animals, and welcome to ExtraTyne on the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. My name is Roger Banks, and I'm joined we're joined this evening by Laura. Give us a wave, Laura.
I'm laughing at you two naming yourself. I'm Roger Banks.
I'm Roger Banks. I'm reporting live from the front room. Laura, have you got tit written on your top there?
Yes.
Oh, let it snow. Right, okay.
Unfortunate.
And as ever, we're joined by the Hall of Green Hammer, Raza himself. How are you doing, Raza?
Not too shabby yourselves?
No, not too bad, thank you. I was Santa Claus today at Lanchester Garden Centre, which was exciting. Ho, 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 and all that.
Float your boat.
You know what I mean? We just do these things for the people. Right, so today is obviously quite a special day in the history of Newcastle United, 129 years old today, after a meeting at Bath Lane Hall all those years ago when Newcastle East End became what we now call Newcastle United. And did you know that they flirted with the names Rangers and Celtic?
Really?
There you go. Thank you to NUFC.com for that information.
Every day is a school deal.
Every day is a school day. I can't take complete credit for that. Well, I can't take any credit for that because that was from Newcastle.com. So, but yes, we could have been Newcastle Rangers and Newcastle Celtic. So there we go. So obviously, we all had a bit of a gift this week with a bit extra significance because we saw the last ruins of the Mike Ashley regime removed finally from the stadium, with those hideous Sports Direct signs being removed from the foyer, would you call it? I don't know, that glass place.
Yeah.
And then obviously from the stands as well, all being taken down. I wonder whether they finished that job on the day that it was the 129th birthday, and possibly there's a bit of significance there. But yes, Laura, how do you feel about the signs obviously coming down? And what do you think we should use them for? What could they be used for, do you think?
Scrap. No, really, it feels eventually like I added a tweet like ages ago when the takeover was announcing, got rid of him, new era, and a few people were like, no, Lee Charney's still there. I was like, right. Then he went, and I was like, no, finally. And then it was like, no, Steve Bruce is still there. And I was like, right, finally. And then still the signs are there. And then now I feel like it's a complete and utter fresh start, completely. Yeah. And it looks unreal, doesn't it? That photo, it's just nothing on it.
Beautiful. Raza, have you got any use for those big signs? You know, could you stick them on the side of the house, maybe, or?
You could use them for sledges, couldn't you? With say pinching gas boards and stuff like that. If we get the snow that the Chronicle's got to predict, it's going to be like the Ice Age, isn't it? So they'll be brilliant. But
that is a right shout.
Set fire to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just melt.
With Ashley on the top, big bonfire. Just put Ashley on the top as well. You know.
I think of a few other people we could put on the top of that bonfire as well, but we'll not go down. We'll not go down a political route, not this evening.
No.
Thank you to those people who are joining us live, and also those people who watch a little bit later, sitting on the toilet or waiting for a McDonald's or doing whatever it is that you do. Maybe it's early morning.
Sitting on the toilet, having a McDonald's, mate. There you are.
Sitting on the Raza, you know how to live, don't you? This working from home,
rock and roll.
You've got it absolutely smashed. So thanks to all those people, and get involved with the comments as well. I try and get through as many as I possibly can. We'll say a few good evenings. So we've got She's Lying, we've got Jimmy Neal's joining us, we've got Tom joining us, Marty again. That Christmas scene just grows and grows and grows. Raza, you need to follow Marty on Twitter because he's uploading some of his amazing. I never get
on Twitter that much, you know, and I should because it's all crack, but like, I don't know. I just never bother. I'm going to try and get more into Twitter. That'll be my New Year's resolution.
Good man. We've got Paul, Jody Toon for Life, and a few others joining us. So, I suppose we should probably get straight into the Burnley game. 15 games it took, but wow, what a release valve that was. Laura, your feelings coming away from the stadium on Saturday? I know your feelings on Sunday morning weren't great.
No,
more alcohol induced. But what were your feelings coming out of the stadium? That noise, that atmosphere, crazy, wasn't it?
It was just relief, joy, emotion, everything like rolled into one. It was I didn't particularly enjoy the game first half anyway. Well, first 40 minutes, but I just remember sitting thinking, oh, it's pretty scrappy. This can't wait to get back to the bar. A bit boring, and then it came to life, and then obviously we're held on, clean sheet. I thought the defense it's got a lot of stick recently, but I thought we were good defensively. I thought we looked quite solid. I thought obviously we kept a clean sheet for the first time in however long, and and then my lasting thought was just at the end, obviously when everyone stayed behind, and normally everyone rushes out, and everyone stayed behind, and they did that lap, and I know people have touched on it in other podcasts, so I won't dwell on it, but the lap of honour, people probably take the mick out of it, but it wasn't like saying we were amazing. It was just relief, and they were saying thank you to us, and we were saying thank you to them, and it was just a brilliant moment. And my lasting impression was everybody singing on the way out, down the stairs on the way out, and I've never experienced that for a long time. Of everyone singing on the way out, and it was just an unreal atmosphere, and hopefully it gives the kick on that we need.
Raza, could you sense that atmosphere from where you were sat?
Pretty much what Laura said. So massive relief for 3 points. We've been crying out for it, and time's running out. We are where we are. When our time's running out, you're already looking at fixtures, in the future, thinking where you're going to pick points up. So the 3 points was massive, but even more important was a clean sheet. It's something to build on. Like Laura said as well, obviously you've seen the videos all over, the fans stopping in. It was just appreciation from them for us sticking with them, and obviously us for, they've been hide under the bus a few times this season, but now, they've got a bit of direction. So it's all, I don't want to tempt fate, but it's all sort of coming together. I still think we will go down this season, if I'm honest with you, but we've got a good band of players there who they're grafting for Eddie Howe. He's obviously getting the mindset right. It was a scrappy game. It wasn't the best game of football I've ever to watch. But you can only beat the teams that you're playing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So long may it continue. I'm quietly confident for this weekend against Leicester, because I think they're terrible at set pieces as well. So why not build on it? We're going to be full of confidence. Roll in. I mean, they've had a hard game tonight against Napoli. They've got COVID cases as well, So who knows what team they'll put out. But no, something good. And, it just builds everybody's weekend up, doesn't it? Everybody was happy on Saturday, and a few bad heads, I believe, on Sunday morning. Not mentioning any names, Laura. But no, it was good, so long may it continue.
Yeah. Obviously, you can see from our viewers there, you can see we've got Kevin McAllister there, and we've got Harry and Marv from Home Alone. I know everybody obviously tunes in for the very deep analytical look at Newcastle United and the games and stuff, but also don't worry, we will be going to a tier list later on where we're going to be ranking Kevin McAllister's amazing booby traps from the Home Alone. Just the first film, because over the two films there'd be far too many, so we're just going with the first film. So stay tuned for that. Don't worry, that is definitely coming up later. Raza's very excited about that. When I spoke with him at the weekend, he was like, "Oh, I cannot wait to do that, Banksy. It's going to be mint."
I couldn't sleep, mate, honest.
But I suppose, Raza, you've sort of brought us nicely into the Leicester City game. I suppose we better touch on that because that is happening on Sunday. Well, we believe. Obviously, the Tottenham game against Brighton's been called off after the game against Rennes, I believe, was called off as well because of a lot of COVID cases. If it does go ahead, 1 o'clock, live on Sky Sports, part of Super Sunday.
But not 2.
2 o'clock in it?
Oh, the programme starts at 1.
Oh, you just meant the build-up, didn't you? I see what you've done there.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Well done, guys.
From 1 o'clock, kick off at 2, I was about to say before I was rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
And it's live.
You know that I'm always about the detail. You two know I'm always about the detail. But obviously they've played tonight, which I think bodes well for possibly playing on the weekend, but you never know. There may be a few more cases that come, show their heads. First thing, do you think this is going to be a feature throughout the season that it's going to hit everybody, or do you think this is maybe part of this Omicron or whatever the latest variation's called? Raza, what do you reckon? Do you think this is going to be a permanent feature now for the rest of the season?
I think so, because it's it's on the rise in society, and you know what I mean. And I think footballers are locked away, and they didn't have any interaction with anybody else. But like everybody else, they'll go and shopping, or they'll have kids who go to school, things like that. So it's coming up the winter time, so that you're going to get more cases. The more people that are tested, the statistics say the more people tested, the more cases you're going to get confirmed. So it will be, a regular occurrence, but who knows what will happen? Obviously it's surprising Tottenham, the fact that they get that 2 games called off. Who knows what will happen with Leicester, but it'll probably hit other teams as well, because it's there, it's not going anywhere. So
I wonder what the cut-off point is, like, because obviously Leicester had 7 out, didn't they?
Yeah.
And their games are still going ahead up to now. I wonder what the cut-off point is, like, right, we can't.
Well, I think Tottenham mentioned the other day they had 13 and then done another round of tests in another 3 or 4 come back, but that was players and staff as well. So is that another 4 on top of the 13 you're divvying out? But there must be, like Laura says, a benchmark where you just can't you kind of fulfill it. So
I think if you've got enough first team, enough of your 24 squad to fulfill the fixture, then I think it's on the club to fulfill the fixture. But
so does that imply that Leicester's 7 aren't regular?
Well, from when I looked at who it is, they're not names that necessarily jump off the page as first teamers. I mean, I'm sure
Perez wasn't playing tonight, was he? So is he one of them, or is he injured?
I think he was. I've got a feeling he was one of them, but a lot of them, I didn't. I mean, not that I pay a great deal of attention to Leicester City's football club, but like I didn't recognise many of the names as regular first team players. So we will wait and see, I suppose, on that one. You never know with COVID. Ryan, you've already had a bit of pushback about the relegation crap.
Sorry, love. Sorry, mate.
So Paul's not very happy about that, but we'll see. If Leicester need our permission to postpone, I wonder why they'd be contributing to this sponsor. I wonder if they were contributing to this sponsor ban. I did read something today where if the game does get cancelled, it'll get probably pushed to January, where we'll hopefully be a few more players in through the door that have a better quality there. So it may benefit us if we play on Sunday. It may benefit us if we postpone and play later. But being Newcastle United, who knows? Who knows? So I suppose if we look at the game, thinking it's going to go ahead, Laura, do you think we can bounce into that game? Leicester on a great run, a few dodgy results, a little bit of discontent amongst the fans. Is it an ideal opportunity to go there? Yeah,
that's what I'd wrote down to say. It's a great time to play them. They've lost the last couple of Premier League games. They've lost tonight 3-2. They're leaking goals massively. So I think if we set up in an attacking formation, then I think we'll definitely score goals. I think, as Decker would normally say, Dr. Newcastle will say, Leicester have lost a couple. They're on a bad run. Come in Newcastle, but I feel like under how it's slightly different. It's maybe not Dr. Newcastle. It's maybe we've got 3 points. We're massive. We've got a boost. We're confident. We've got the togetherness. We're very united. I think it's a great time to push on and play Leicester and like I can't think of the word, like damage them if you like. So I think we'll be I am pretty confident. The only thing I'm not confident about is the fact that we're on the telly, and I don't think we're ever amazing when we play Leicester on the telly.
Yeah, Raza, I know you're a bit bringing a bit of doom and gloom with the relegation, but do you think we can rock into that game?
Look, I'm a realist, man. I'm realist, keeping it real, brother. Like I said before, I think it's a perfect time to play them. Did they play Villa at the weekend? I think it was. And they got beat off Villa. They're no great shakes, and I've noticed this season they concede a hell of a lot from set pieces. Got that Turkish kid with a long head, centre half, Johnny Evans. Wilson will have them all over with his pace. You know what I mean? If you can get him behind them, it'll be good. But I think it's a good time to play them. Like Laura said, get out and attack them from the off. Too many times we're set up and invited teams on. Now we're in a position to get out and attack them, get them something to think about. So
I think it'll be a benefit, an advantage to us that they're at home because, like Roger said, the fans are, there is a bit of discontent. So any sort of mistake, any sort of sitting back, any sort of like us scoring at anything, the fans will turn. And I think that is a benefit to us, an advantage to us. So,
well, Raza, you might not be on the same page with Paul regards relegation, but I think you're definitely on the same page in terms of what they should be looking to do as we go to Leicester about ASM. And I never call him ASM. I ever call him Alan and Callum Wilson ripping up the centre halves. I do think, obviously, Johnny, and I call him Johnny Nelson there. Johnny Evans has been a great, a good Premier League player for a lot of years, but I think his body's starting to give up on him a bit. And when you have a bit of a rick in him as well.
When you look at Johnny Evans, has he not broke down twice in warm-ups this season? Like he's been out, he's been named first. Like he's going to start. He's broke down and went up, So, like you say, he's not getting any younger, is he? You know what I mean? So, and the other
did the same against us last season, if you remember, in the warm-up.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Aye.
So,
fingers crossed he does it again on Sunday.
I know. Well, maybe he's fingers crossed he plays, and they are they're not in a great moment, as some managers like to say. But I'm sure you've all seen the videos as well. Tom's alluding to about Eddie Howe talking about, oh, now we're cooking. Just keep these training videos come. I don't know whether have you both seen the article? I think it was in the Athletic about Joe Linton, by the way.
No.
So quite interesting article by, I think it was Chris Waff in the Athletic. They've actually they had a Black Friday sale on, so it was only £1 a month for the year.
Is that why you're saying up, Mr. Banks?
Way I think I'm paying £9 a month or whatever it used to be.
When it goes back up, you just cancel that subscription.
Yeah, but Raza, you've got to have something to read when you're feeding the Ben. When you're on the bottle, you're just like
straight with the viz.
But you got the viz? Yes,
the viz.
But it was really interesting article about Joe Linton and how he's obviously settled in now. His family are over here. His 2 kids are here. And he's actually been, even before Howe came, he was using this analytical
fitness coach, is that right?
Oh, yes.
This football analytics sort of system where they send him reports and then he handed that over to the club to say these are the areas he needs to develop. So showing that initiative.
I love that. It shows great intent, doesn't it?
Great intent. Love that phrase, Laura. Aye, great intent. And it kind of reflects the player that we've seen the last 4 or 5 games, like a completely, 180 in terms of how he's been playing and what he's been doing. So may that continue. I fancy a goal for Joe Linton this weekend, actually. Why not? So I suppose in terms of predictions, team-wise, what do we reckon? Will we go as bold as we did against Burnley, where we went quite an attacking approach, or do you think you might be a bit cautious? Maybe put Hayden in for Willock, or do you think we're in a position where we can't afford to hold back? We just need to go forward. Laura, what do you think? What should be the approach on Sunday?
I've wrote down keep the same team. I think maybe a couple of weeks ago, if Leicester were on a good run and the Leicester team we've known previous, I would say, would need to have that more defensive midfielder in it. But I would say at the minute, the way Leicester are and how leaky they are at the back, I would say just go for it and keep the same team and go and attack. Because our defence looked all right against Burnley, so I would keep it the same. Do
you think maybe Raza they pose a slightly different threat to what Burnley? Burnley, you know what you're going to get: long balls, challenges in the air, perfect for someone like Lascelles. Do you think we might need a slightly different approach at the back, possibly with maybe Vardy or what's the other striker called? Do you know, Laura? Their other striker who looks rapid as well. I'm gonna have to find out his name. Raza, what do you think?
I think we'll probably just keep the same team. I think if anything, they've earned it, haven't they? After picking up the 3 points on Saturday. Going into Saturday's game, I was interested to see whether or not Howe would have kept Fernandez in alongside Shaw.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm Lascelles' biggest critic, and he had a good game Saturday. So I think you've got to give them, it's a reward. They've done well. They'll get the 3 points. I think they'll probably keep the same team. I think the game really could be difficult for in the middle of the park. Is that Tillerman's fit for them? He's
quality
an outstanding player. But you've got that luxury. I say luxury. If we are getting overrun in the middle, you can't bring Hayden on. You know what I mean? You could possibly take Willock off and put Hayden on. So I think Howe's not naive, and he'll realise, sort of the best form of defence is attack. Get it from the start, and then say if we're down after 20 minutes or something, you can change it. Which I don't think Eddie Howe's frightened to do. So I think you probably start with the same team.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just going to the comments really quickly. A few things in our favour. Leicester's 11. I think we'd be pretty happy. Anyone think Willock is playing with an injury? We'll come back to Willock. Lascelles too immobile to deal with Vardy. Not that we have any mobile centre backs. I suppose the most mobile probably we have is Shaw, but he can be a little bit. He dives in a little bit sometimes when the pace is put on him. Oh, Michael's give us an update with COVID there. So we got Iheanacho, Lookman, Perez, Vestergaard, Amati, Benkovic, Daly Campbell. So I don't think many. Lookman played, I think, the other day against
the three at the beginning. Who I know.
You've got to think, will Rodgers play Vardy? Because I know he didn't start him against Villa, whether or not he was keeping him for tonight. But again, Vardy. He's not getting any younger. And Rodgers does seem to sort of keep him back a little bit. So, be interesting to see what team they put out. But hey, at the end of the day, we haven't got many mobile centre backs, as that kind of pointed out there. They're all much of a muchness. So, why not go with the same team? Yeah,
I think you have to be. Yeah, it's a real tricky one against Leicester because it's Daka is the strike I was thinking of. But they have got that pace, so you can't be too high up.
Kind of push up because they're getting behind you.
Yeah, they're getting behind every time. Or whether that means that we make sure we play Manquillo and Lewis who can cover in, who are they're fairly quick, but I think Vardy's a slightly different level. So predictions, Laura. Are you going to be bold and go for a win, or are we going to take a draw? What do you think?
I'm going to be bold and go 2-1 to us.
Come on. Raza, what you reckon?
I'm going to say 2-1 as well. I fancy it. We've got now to lose and everything again, so I give it a go.
I feel exactly the same. I think a couple of people, talking about dropping Willock for Hayden. I think a lot of people thought that Willock probably had his best game in the these last 6 games since Eddie Howe's sort of taken over. I'd probably agree, but not that he was a world beater or anything like that, but I do still think he's playing a bit of catch-up. The quality, I think, is there, but...
Do you think last season when he come to us, obviously he'd had an Arsenal pre-season and sort of trained with Arsenal and we all had sort of the Bruce methods and things like that. And obviously it was a different level when he come to us and he got with a few goals. Do you not think he's I didn't want to say Bruce because obviously he's not there, but do you not think he was Bruced in a way because he hasn't had the sort of pre-season that he would have normally had?
Yeah.
And maybe he is showing the effects of that and he is playing catch-up,
Yeah. I think there's probably a combination of factors, Raz. I think there's probably those elements of not being fit, obviously not doing a full pre-season with Arsenal, then coming to Newcastle and from what we gathered from Wilson, it's been absolute shambles in terms of pre-season training. But there was glimpses there. Obviously, he put the cross in that the keeper then dropped. And was anybody else crapping themselves on that one, or was it just me that was a bit worried that was going to get ruled out?
I thought it was going to,
yeah.
You always panic, didn't you? Because you never know what's going to happen with VAR. Or...
Especially with goalkeepers, that's all.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think if it was probably on the 6-yard line, it would have been given to the keeper. But because he was so far out.
I just watched it back actually on Match of the Day, just to refresh my memory, and that's what the commentator said. He said he's come too far out for it to be given as a foul.
And Raza, and you would have just cleaned house like King Kong Bundy, wouldn't you?
Just as John Burridge used to say, anybody in front of you is fair game. You're coming out. Keepers are protected, man. They can wipe people out these days. You know what I mean? You should be coming out.
Sean Dyche agreed after the game as well. He said that's what I would do. That's what I'd tell me players to do. He was quite gracious.
You look at keepers now, man. I mean, that De Gea. Did you see against Man United? Fred stood on De Gea's foot and he fell in the heart. Look, you're a goalkeeper, son. You're expected to get a kick. Get up.
Yeah.
Man up sort of thing. Stop being soft.
Yeah. Have you seen, did you see the clip? I don't know how recent it is, but I saw floating around on Twitter of, I think it was in a Brazilian league where the striker runs away from the ref. There's a bit of an altercation or whatever, and the striker and the ref having a conversation, and the striker runs away and the ref pats him on the back and he gans doon. It's absolutely classic. He's brilliant. He's like rolling around on the floor. The ref's like...
Was another one from Germany where the centre-half got his own goalkeeper sent off when he put his head into him. I've seen a clip of that. You know what I mean? It's gone soft a bit in the football. Get the 2 foot tackles back in.
Reducers, Raz, reducers. They should be just part of the game. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I made a Sunday League career out of reducers. Like,
Was that just because you have pace or not? Or?
Yeah, because I was terrible. There'll be many witnesses to that. Okay, so we've done the football chat. I think we've been very comprehensive in covering
very thorough
all angles. You know, we've got the tactics right. We've gone with score predictions. We know who's playing. We know the crack about the football. Now let's get on to the important part. Obviously, with extra time, we do like to be a little bit extra, and we like to throw in a few random things. Obviously, towards the Christmas season, it's even more important. So we had to think about what we would like to do. So we came up with having a look at Kevin McAllister and his excellent defence that he put up of his house.
I like what you did there.
Thanks very much. When the Wet Bandits were in town. And we're going to rank, there was 14 plus one extra, which is a little bit of an extra one. There's 14 booby traps that he set. And we're just going to kind of tier list them and see which ones we think are right up there and which ones we would never fall for. Which ones are, I mean, I know it's a movie, so they're all pretty much unrealistic, but which ones are the best, which ones would work and which ones would absolutely not. I do believe, though, somebody's put a video on YouTube and they've actually tried out all of the different pranks that he's done. So have a look at that and see what you reckon. So let's have a look at the tier list then. Did we do that one? There we go. Oh, now, I'll just show you on the full screen there, actually. How do I do that one? There we go. I'll just disappear us for a little while. So I'll try and get them in order. So the first one, we've got the BB gun there. Now, he shoots Harry first, Joe Pesci's character in the bollocks first. And then, foolishly, Marv puts his head through and he gets one right between the eyes. The second one is the front street with the ice. Where is it? Somewhere here. There he is. Joe Pesci there lying on the floor. He slipped on the ice. And then obviously the one at the back door, Marv goes down the stairs there. Then we've got the light bulb and the iron. After that, we've got not the hot dog, as I said before we came on air, the hot door handle, which Joe Pesci puts his hand on. Then we had the tar and the nail and the foot, which for me, that's the one that makes my bum itch the most. Then we had Laura's favourite, I think, is the blowtorch. Is that your favourite one, Laura?
Oh, yeah, sorry, was that a question?
Yeah, maybe it was, I don't know. And then Harry then gets a double whammy when he gets turned into a chicken. The Christmas decorations that Marv stands on as he climbs through the window. Then the micro machines, absolute classic. Boys and girls, if you're under the age of probably 30, ask your parents about micro machines.
I don't know what one is.
You're on the cusp of 30, aren't you?
I'm above 30.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You didn't know what a micro machine is?
Laura.
Is it like a microwave?
Are you joking?
I don't know what picture I'm looking at.
It's this one here.
Micro machines are like the tiny little cars. You know,
this one
at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, the tiny little cars at the bottom of the stairs. And then after that, we had the paint cans came down. Then we had the tripwire. Then the tarantula, which I don't think is a planned prank, but we could put it in anyway. And then finally, the treehouse rope when Harry and Marv try to climb along and he cuts it. So let's get into it. The important part of the evening.
Oh, look how close I was. That's because I haven't got my glasses.
Thanks, Laura.
I don't wear glasses, but
you're looking at them really small cars.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get into it. We have that first one there. And I'll best take you through the tiers. Obviously, there's God tier. Then there's ouch. Then there's I'd fall for it. Maybe it's not the greatest. Then we've got not too clever. And then finally, who would fall for this? So we've got to have definitive answers, you two. So it's really important that we really thrash it out and we get into the detail on it. It's very, very important. So we'll go with the first one, the BB gun. Razza, I'll come to you first. I know you have a penchant for firearms yourself. What do you reckon? What about this one for you? Harry and Marv are at the door and he gets one in the nuts and then he gets one in the head. What do you reckon?
Well, it's kind of hurting it in your old family alone. So it's never nice to get hit in the nether regions. So that's definitely for me is going to be a top of the tree really. Maybe it's an ouch.
You're going right. You're going out.
Laura.
Laura,
I feel like I can't comment, but so yeah, I'll go with you. So I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a great start, you know, because they're at the door winding him up, saying it's Santa and his little elf, and then boom, he gets a slug right in the family jewels. So
is that? I have seen it. I swear down I have, but I haven't watched it this year yet. I like to save it for nearer Christmas. And remember, shocking. Is that the first prank before they come in?
Well, I did mention it before. I think
firecrackers, isn't it?
Come on. When he's trying to scare them off initially, because he does the little trick with all the bodies, like it's like there's a party going on at the house.
Oh yes,
he's got all the trains coming round. But that's not part of the seminal part of the movie where the actual pranks come into play. But he does do that one where he's watching the movie and he makes the gun go off and then he sets the firecrackers, which is, I would say that's out your god tier. I really like that one. It's absolutely class. And I think you might scare off the pizza boy with that one as well, possibly, if memory serves.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Filthy animal.
Aye, that's the one.
It's so quotable, so quotable. Right. So are we happy with ouch for that one?
Yeah.
And I think it is this,
it is something that you could do with a cat flap, isn't it? You know what I mean? If you've got a mischievous mind, that's probably one of the ones that you could see somebody doing.
Yeah.
If I had a cat flap, I'd do that.
Yeah. But you need a cat first, wouldn't you, Raza?
I haven't got a cat, and I haven't got a cat flap neither. So
I've got a cat flap in my garage, and I don't have a cat.
Oh dear.
So where does the cat flap go to? Just in the garage?
Yeah.
Have you ever used it?
No.
No?
What, either get in your cell or taste just any cat in?
Yeah.
There's a lot of cats in the neighborhood, so they've met you used it before, but I don't know.
Are you the cat? Are you the cat napper in the street light?
I'm the only one in the street without one.
Just sit in the garage behind the flap,
She takes them in and she shoots them with a ball bearing gun from what I've heard.
Yeah. She's like a budget Cruella de Vil.
A Council Cruella de Vil. What a
Cruella de Felon is your new nickname. There you go. With your coat made of cats. Oh, is that what your Tino cat's made of? Is it made of a tabby cat?
Yeah.
There you go. It's all become clear now, right? So, next classic moving on swiftly, is the ice on the front door, on the front step. This one's Harry. He gets caught by this one first. I mean, it's a classic. Would it work in real life, do you think? Raza, what do you reckon?
I fell out on ice a few times, so it probably would work. But I mean, you're not going to scare your hardened criminals or burglars off with a bit of ice, are you? You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, if they haven't thought about having the right footwear on, are they really going to ransack your gaff? You've got to look at that way.
Yeah, I suppose you do have to think about your footwear. Like, Raza, what do you think? Which one of your trainers would be the best for robbing houses? Do you think?
What a question!
I know you've got an extensive trainer collection.
There might be burglars watching, so if you can stop saying that, because my house might become a target.
I know. I'm panicking about.
I think they'd be through Laura.
Keep cats away from you, Laura. You know what I mean? We'll walk around with them down past her house. You lose your cat.
They'd be through Laura's cat flap first and up the stairs to the toilet.
Trainers would probably have to be a pair of Adidas Marathons, probably, because they've got good traction on the bottom, and you can run away as well.
Yeah.
So
I think you'd have to go with like a really mass-produced pair, though, because they can do you
for your footprint. Yeah.
They can do you from your footprint, and so you'd have to be careful, I suppose. Or you could wear one of each different one. That may throw them off a little bit.
And wear a size bigger than you actually are. So if they ask you, just go, oh no, I'm not a trial.
Well, then you're going to trip out. They want you, you know what I mean? You're going to be running about. Might as well wear flippers for that point.
I was thinking smaller.
But then they'd be thinking it might have been Kermit the Frog had done the robbery. So you know what I mean? Kermit's been on the rob. So ice. I reckon I'm going to go. I'd fall for it.
That's how
I think we'll slip on ice at some point.
Yeah. No.
And do you think we'd go with Marv with that one as well? Do you think both of them have got to go there, haven't they?
Definitely.
Or is the back? Or is slipping over near the back door? Is that a little bit more risky? Possibly.
Moving on.
Depends if your back door's open or not, I guess. But what I do like from Marv's is when he gets to the bottom and he can't get up, and then he hooks his he hooks the crowbar on, and then he slips again, and the crowbar falls on his head, which I think is excellent. Well, whether it was intentional or not, I'm not entirely sure, but great comic timing. So I think we agreed I'd fall for both of them.
Yeah.
Raz, stop thinking about me back door, will you?
I can't help it, mate, you know.
Right. I think this is probably the first, really, of the iconic ones, I believe. This is the light bulb / iron on the face. Now, Laura, what do you make of this one?
God, yeah, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
It's just unreal. Like, I love it.
Do you think the length of time it takes him to pull, look up, and then realise?
Yeah.
And was the iron on, Raza, or was it off? What do you reckon?
I never done the ironing. I wasn't there. I'm not too sure. He had a slight crease down his face, and that was
he's got a burn mark.
That must have been. He's got a scorch mark on, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think Kevin would have been foolish enough not to turn it on before he did it.
Yeah, he's thought of. He has like a Navy SEAL level of attacking.
He's got a plan for everything. He definitely would have had it bubbling away or whatever you do with an iron.
Bubbling away.
Oh, I know. Actually, Laura, no, you don't do any ironing, do you? Because your mum does it for you.
I just don't iron. I wouldn't. I've never ironed before.
You'll find out all sorts about Laura doing this. Like, she's basically the most selfish person that's ever existed in the whole wide world.
How's that selfish? I don't iron. It's me wearing the clothes.
And she hates cats.
She's got a cat flap, but she hates cats. Go figure. You know what I mean?
No.
Put that on your dating profile. I don't know. Like, what do you do? Right. So the iron in the face, it's got to be God tier, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That is the classic.
It's got a tickle in it.
You kind of beat a bit of slapstick, and that is right up there. Right up there. Dan, he's thinking about the scorch mark. I thought it was just the impact of the iron hitting your face after falling 10 feet. Ooh.
He could be right, you know.
He could be right. Could be right.
He gets a scorch mark on his hand, doesn't he?
Well, you know, when Trevor, Little Mo hit Trevor over the face with an iron in EastEnders on Christmas Day that time.
Yes.
I don't think he had a scorch mark.
Ooh.
And it was on.
You've lost me, like.
Oh, sorry.
What are you on
That's a good point, What? She's on EastEnders now.
I don't watch it. I really don't.
Liar.
I don't, I swear.
Right, so we're going with, that's got to be up there. The next one, I called it the hot dog handle for some reason, because I wasn't reading my notes properly, but the hot door handle. I mean...
That's a belter, isn't it?
This is an absolute belter, isn't it? I mean, I have no idea what is that thing that he hangs on the other side of the... Is it like, what is that thing that he hangs on the other side of the doorknob, though? Like,
no
what to heat the door handle up?
I like, what is it? What is the thing that he puts on? Where's the like
to make it pull?
Yeah, no, like
the red handle up in it.
The thing he uses. What is that though? Like,
I'm sure somebody will let me know in the comments.
To make it red, do you mean?
To heat the door handle, to heat the knob up. What is it that he puts on?
No idea. DP?
Like,
don't know.
DP.
I was just thinking of pasta.
Are you on the crash? No, he hangs like this metal device thing on the other side, and that it's glowing red. Laura, have you seen this film before?
I should have watched it at the weekend when I knew you were doing it.
You winded me up.
I was keeping it for closer at Christmas.
Well,
I normally
it's on Christmas Eve, apparently.
I normally just watch number 2. That's my favourite.
I'll wait on that one, like
Anyway, answers on a bloody postcard. He hangs this metal thing on the other side of the door. That heats it up. It seems to me like a ridiculously dangerous thing to have in the house anyway.
But not just a metal hot bar, like off the fire or something.
Possibly, it's connected by some cable though. So anyway,
is it?
We're losing viewers quickly, so let's move on. What do we reckon though? I reckon it's up there. Like, it's a classic. because it leaves a permanent mark on Harry's hand.
And you wouldn't expect it, would you? You know what I mean?
No,
You wouldn't.
It's a bit.
Are we going to go ouch or God tier?
I gotta say ouch.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ouch. Yeah, it's not quite as good as and as visually stunning as the iron in the face. I think if Mark or one of the lads on from All Smiling Faces on, I think you'd be a bit harsh on us here because we've gone quite top heavy at the moment. But these are some classic pranks. Do you know what I mean? So answers on a postcard. What you think? Next one that we have. This is my favorite one. I have to say. I have to go into this very open and make sure I'm clear with everybody. But the tar on the stairs with the nail as well. I just think that is possibly the greatest prank of all time, because the thought of where to put the nail, which step up to put the nail on, knowing that, right, he's going to go this foot and that's going to be the shoe. So the shoe has to come off.
Oh, I never thought of it like that.
The next foot, the shoe gets stuck, that's coming off. Then the sock. So he's gone like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he's got to put in, is it going to be the long-legged guy or the smaller-legged guy? Because he might take 2 steps at a time.
He's very quick thinking, Kevin.
You've got far too much time on your hand, Roger. Yeah,
well, Raza, you've got to think about these things. If you're gonna do a tier list properly, you've got to think about these things. I'm sure Tom would agree with us, and I'm sure Stu would agree with us. So for me, this is God tier. I don't know about you two, but I just think the thought that's gone into it, the preparation to do it, is just amazing. I mean, God knows how he set all these traps up. I know it's a movie, but however, do you know what I mean? So
I just can't see it's not real, You do realise that, don't you?
Aye.
Yeah, cool.
But for me, it's God tier. I don't know about you two.
We'll let you have God tier.
Go on, you can have that.
We'll not argue with
You've thought too much about it. I might not.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be a bit harsh putting you down after that thorough. Just
presentation
of it, yeah.
It was almost the Eddie Howe level of presentation there.
It was.
I'm surprised you didn't do a PowerPoint to go with it.
Well, if anything had gone wrong, Dan Gosling style, I would have got the PowerPoint out and it would have been there. So luckily, technology hasn't let us down yet. Touch wood. Right. So next one that we have, we've done the blow. Oh, we're on the blowtorch, Laura.
My favourite.
Now, go on, Laura. Go on, put your case across.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't really have a case because I just know I liked it, but I can't really remember too much about it. I don't have I feel like it would be a complete letdown after your nails tar thing. But I thoroughly enjoy it, and I think Joe Pesky's just adds to it with his reaction. So that for me, I'll not go straight in with God tier, but I would just go ouch.
Yeah, Raza, what do you reckon?
Agreed.
Yeah,
definitely. Aye.
What I do like is how he runs out, puts his head in the snow, and then he comes back in and he's all patchy. I just think.
Does he not?
That isn't.
Is it number? Someone put their head in the toilet?
Does it number 2 as well? But
is it number 2? Yes, that's right.
A white spirit or something like that, isn't it?
Yes, because he'd thought about it from the last time. And yes.
I think we'd go with ouch. Now, are there any here that none of us would fall for? Because that's really what we're looking at in the bottom here.
Well, I was going to use what's so adamant with the hot dog door thing, but for me, it's really, it's really red. I don't think I'd touch it.
The deep heat door handle now, but wouldn't fall that would smell the deep heat, wouldn't it?
I wonder how long.
I've got no sense of smell.
They're not getting past me with that deep heat thing. I'm stupid.
Imagine how long you'd have to stay there and spray it for.
It might be. You used to be able to get the cream, didn't you? Like the rub-on deep heat.
I've got a really painful story about deep heat, actually.
And it's not about your back doors neither, is it? So
no. It was when I was about
carry on.
I was about 13, 14 playing for Cleveland Hall, and we got up to the moss heaps, got into the change room, did a bit of a warm up and whatnot. In the change rooms, get ready, get stripped and whatnot. So I'm rubbing deep heat into my legs. And this goes back to how crap a footballer I was. And obviously you can only pick 16 players, and I was the 17th basically. And I'd like lathered my legs in this DP because if anybody's familiar with Gateshead, and particularly the
Were you
Matthews,
sweating on your walk home?
I was crying. I was like, he was like, I'm sorry, son,
Like
you're
a
not
flashing
playing.
beacon.
I come down, walked down Beacon off front, like, crying my eyes out, absolutely. My legs were on fire.
I was
like,
gonna say it wasn't because you hadn't made the team; it's just your legs were burning, wasn't it?
I was emotionally and physically in pain like I've never known. Honestly, it was horrific, absolutely horrific. So yes, that was a horrendous. Yes. So Deep Heat, Laura, when you brought Deep Heat up, I get flashbacks all the time. So.
Sorry for bringing it up.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. You weren't to know, Laura. You weren't.
I wasn't.
No. I forgot which one we're on there. So we're on.
We're talking about which one we wouldn't fall for.
Yeah.
I'd say the door handle because it's glowing. I just wouldn't touch it.
Yeah. Would you fall for that one? But he's not really looking at the door handle. He's like looking because they've got windows on either side of the door, haven't they? So he's kind of.
I always look where I'm going. I would, especially look what I'm touching as well.
And on that bombshell, I think we'll move on. So, blowtorch, we're going up there, right? The Christmas decorations. Now, this one, I really feel like I wouldn't fall for this one. For starters, the doors, the windows, like.
Sorry, which one? Because I was.
Now we're on the Christmas decorations.
Christmas decorations.
Right, sorry.
So for me, for this one, right, you've already had. So this is Marv. He's already had his face smashed by an iron. He's already had his socks and shoes taken off, and he's stood on a spike. He's been shot in the face, right?
Someone's like my house. Does he know all that?
It's like walking up yours, He's slipped on the ice, right? And then he doesn't think, oh, it's a bit weird that window has been left open. You just wouldn't go through that window, would you? And of course, you would look through the window to see, oh, has he left these glass ornaments on the floor?
But I think they're just so determined to get into the house that they'll do anything to get in. And they're probably just thinking, well, he is a child. He's probably just made a mistake and hasn't shut that window.
But he's already outsmarted them on several occasions. I mean,
oh yeah, totally. But
I suppose you could try, Laura. You could put some Christmas decorations in front of your cat flap and see what happens. Like, you know, see if it stops any intruders. You know.
Yeah.
So for me,
cat's getting shot in the bollocks.
For me, that one is I would not fall for that one.
Yeah.
No way, I would not fall for that one. Like, I just think that's a really poor one. It's a poor effort, Kevin. I'm sorry, mate. But,
okay.
You know, I know he's a big, you know, Kevin McAllister comes from Bencham, so he's a big. I know he's a big fan of ExtraTyne, as are most people. So let's have a look at the next one. Are we all fine with that one? I know I've just kind of slammed it in there, like, but
no, that's cool.
Just think that one. The next one is Harry is the chicken. So
can you talk us through this one? Yeah.
So he walks through the door, and there's cling film on the door with glue on it.
Yes.
And as he takes it off, he must push. As he pushes the door,
it's like the fan goes on.
Oh, the fan,
yeah. The fan goes on. It blows them.
It would have been quicker for to watch this, you know.
Probably would have been
a live watch along.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That is time well spent. It was time well spent. I don't know. Would you fall for this one, Raza?
Probably. I mean, I probably would. You know what I mean? I never watch where I'm going.
That's true. Like,
I mean, they're all tricks, aren't they? You know, you've got to remember the booby traps, and they're there for a reason. You wouldn't expect them. You know, you've got to expect these things to like sort of think, oh, going to go through this door and I'm going to get shot with feathers now. You're going to think of that, are you? So
yeah, it's very easy for us to sit here and say.
Yes, with the benefit of hindsight and
30 years of watching it,
knowledge that it's a movie, that it's not real, it's not based on any reality whatsoever. So, I mean, visually, I think it's up there. It's up with Ouch or with God Tier in terms of the hilarity. Like when he first gets covered in all them chicken feathers. It's
do you reckon? Nah, I'm not having that, mate. No, I'm not having that, man. No, there's a cheat.
No.
He gets hit with feathers. He gets hit with feathers. Keep it doing the bottom somewhere.
Oh, well.
I would fall for it. I'm not too clever.
Well, that's empty, so I'll put it in.
Stick it in that one.
Yeah, it's not as strong as the other ones above it if you look at them.
No.
You know.
It's not going to hurt you as much as it. You know what I mean? What's going to be
true, yeah.
The only thing it would hurt is probably your pride.
Yes.
Which, you know.
I would hate that one the most, personally.
Aye. But you've always got to bring it back to you, Laura. I think that's really important.
It's all about Laura. All about it's
really
Laura.
Important bring it back.
Didn't even intentionally do.
Right. Now, the next one, we had to explain to Laura beforehand about what micro machines actually were. So I know Tom's in his 40s, so he knows what micro machines are all about.
They're just toy cars.
Just miniature toy cars.
Tiny toy cars, that's all they are.
And they were absolutely mint, though. They were just class. You could, like, play with them in the roots of trees and that, you know, and, like, little, you know. Oh, it was class.
Why?
Exactly, I never once played with a micro machine in the root of a tree.
No, like, you know, like, if you can do the Dean with all your micro machines and that, you have the army ones and that, and you're playing on them and that, and you make a little world in that, man. No? No, just me. Okay.
Just you, mate. Did you play a lot on your own as a child, Roger, or not? Or?
Yeah, did I? Yeah. And the older I'm getting, the more I'm playing on my own about is even more now, you know what I mean?
You've always got to look at what you touch. Laura said that, you know what I mean?
As Laura says, you've got to look at what you touch, you know what I mean?
And be careful with deep heat.
It's a motto I live by.
Yeah. Watch you for calf flaps, deep heat.
Calf flaps and deep heat.
Yeah.
Nightmares.
That's all you need to worry about. So the micro machines, for me, although I love micro machines, I don't love this prank because, like,
nah, it's a bit shit, really, isn't it?
You wouldn't go that high. You wouldn't. I just think it's.
Nah.
And you can see them clearly.
Yeah, you can clearly see them. So for me,
it's a bottom, isn't it?
It's bottom of the league. Who would fall for this? The next one is the paint cans. And what I do like,
it's a belter for me. That one, mind.
Yeah, I do like this one. Laura, what do you reckon? What do you make of this one?
What happened again?
Oh, you joking me?
No.
Laura, I texted you this a week ago.
I know.
But you watched Home Alone too.
And you watched the wrong Home Alone, aye? She watched what was the other Macaulay Culkin film? What was it?
Richie Rich.
Did you watch Richie Rich instead?
No,
and then My Girl.
This is how poor my memory is. I even watched the pranks on YouTube, a compilation of pranks at 7:00 tonight while I was getting ready.
I do not believe it. I do not believe it.
Swear down, I forgot.
Are you sure it wasn't the booby traps from the Goonies or something like that? Like...
And I watched it all, and I stopped it on Home Alone 3. I definitely watched it. It was 7 minutes long.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Right. Well, for micro machines, help Laura out in context. Think of a Polly Pocket for lads. There you go.
Them clear plastic Polly Pockets I use it.
Oh man!
No, not the stationery. The little kiddie's toy, man.
I don't have a Polly Pocket.
The little girl's toy went Polly Pocket. Oh man, Laura. Next time in the studio, I'll bring some of Connie's Polly Pockets in here.
We'll get you one for Christmas.
Okay.
We should have done Secret Santa, shouldn't we? Really?
We should have.
Yeah. Right.
No, because I would end up with deep heat. So no, sorry.
That's sweet. I don't want any deep heat. Please don't get me any deep heat. Spray on or rub on. Yeah. Although it was kind of the coach to offer to rub it on my legs, like, but you know.
Oh.
It's called Barry, I think. Anyway,
no. Did he have red shorts on?
Right.
Oh, man.
Right. So the paint tins. What I reckon on the paint tins?
It's got to be a belter up there, isn't it?
Are we going God tier? Raza, what would be your preference? What do you reckon?
No, it's a good one, and it's sticking to the top, man. Aye.
Stick to the top, aye.
Yeah, we are.
What I like about it is
one comes down and you think
one comes down and then he goes, Don't worry, I'll get you. And then bang.
Oh, is that
and
on the staircase when they
Yes,
them?
that's a
All
one.
right, yeah.
And then he loses his tooth and they land on each other.
Aye.
Oh yes,
No,
I
that is
remember
good.
now.
Absolute belter. That is a belter. It's an absolute belter. It's got to be up there. Right, a few left. Don't worry. For those people who are maybe hanging on and thinking, what to do.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah! Thank God for that.
Yeah, me.
I can see why Raza thought this was a bad idea, but we'll crack on. We'll crack on. Don't worry.
We'll just have that note of that. I didn't think it was a terrible idea. So there we go.
Yeah. No, any bother. Tripwire. What do you reckon? The tripwire.
It's a classic, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've all done it. So, aye.
But I think it's quite high, though. Do you not think he's got it quite high for tripwire? I would have
No,
thought
because you're looking at the floor, aren't you? But these are like, you've got to think, if you think of his logic for like the steps with the toe and all that, he's thinking, would the step over it was too low? So he's got it just high enough to like, there you go. I'm even getting into the thinking of this. Like, I did
You've done it right.
Let's move on. Let's move on. How weird, dear me.
Laura, where would you put it? I think I'd fall for it, but I don't think it's great. Like, I don't think it's like.
Does he just trip over a wire?
We've established Laura has watched these and she can't remember them. So, aye.
If it was like,
have we been sent here by like a rival podcast to like, it's called Tripwire.
No, I know what it is, but I can't. Who trips over it? Both of them.
Aye, because he rings the police and then he jumps over it and they see him going towards the stairs, so they then run towards him. They're like so focused on them, they don't even look at where they're going. Foolishly.
Oh no, then I think it's very clever then.
So would you fall for it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fair enough. Last couple now, thank God. Now, I don't think this is a deliberate prank, but it is one of the better ones. Or is it? I don't know. Raza or Laura, have you got an opinion on this one? The tarantula.
I do have an opinion on it because I remember it because it's the it's the spider that
it's only number 13. Jesus Christ.
That escapes from, is it his brother? Is it?
Yeah, his room, isn't it?
Yeah,
room,
and yeah, so I think that's like up there because it was accidental. It was just by chance the tarantula, which everyone would be shit scared of, had escaped. And while he fell for one of Kevin's pranks, and then when he's on the floor,
he's on the stairs, gone into the loft, and he's been caught. Is it Marv who's grabbed him? And he's caught him. He grabs it and hides it round, didn't he? Oh no, it's Harry. Is it Harry who grabbed? Well, either way, one of them grab him. Kevin gets it.
Marv's got a hold of him.
I'm turning to Roger here. Dear me.
Yeah, Harry's on the ground. Marv's got a hold of him. Dan, as a planned thing, the tarantula is not great, but Marv's reaction makes it. I think
I'm with Dan on that one.
Yeah, I think Dan's right. Yeah, I think it's the reaction, and then when it lands on Harry, and then he tries to hit it.
He goes to whack it.
Why does he try and hit it with a crowbar? I don't get it. Why does he do that?
That's foolish. To be fair,
that is foolish. Like that's a massive plot. That's a hole in the plot.
Because you wouldn't smack a spider, you'd flick a spider anyway.
I don't know. Tarantula, like.
Tarantula.
A tarantula. What else are you going to hit it with? He's got these shoes on. He couldn't stand on it, could he? You know what I mean?
No, I would just flick it away.
Not when it's on his mate's chest. Surely you would use the crowbar as a kind of, a makeshift golf club, and you would whack it off.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't whack the tarantula off because you get webs everywhere, but you would.
Would you?
Knock it off. I don't know.
I don't know, like. I would have hit it with a crowbar.
All right. Straight down.
Aye, especially if it was on top of you, aye.
What a dickhead. Right. Okay.
Moving on. Is this the last one? Yes,
second
indeed.
last. Get it there, Raza. You nearly made it. Come on.
Thank you.
Right.
Aye.
So, tarantula. I don't know. Yeah.
It's got to be near the bottom, and it's a bit shit.
Yeah, I'm going to go here. Not too clever. I don't think it's who would fall for it because I think everyone would have a bad reaction to it, like Laura was saying. But I just,
Well, it's the only one I contributed to, and you've just fobbed me off and put it at the bottom anyway.
All right, Laura. Put it up here. Laura, all right then. I know. And by the way, Laura's making a huge sacrifice for this because she could be watching Sex and the City. Instead, she's on a computer with me and Raza talking about the pranks of Home Alone that just have no idea.
Who needs Sex in the City? Who needs Sex in the City? You know what I mean?
Exactly. You are
I'm sure there's women all over the northeast fighting to be online with me and Roger.
Yeah, to be in a Raza and Roger sandwich is like it wouldn't be a foot long though, unfortunately. Right. So, Laura, where would you like it?
God, yeah.
Where do you want the spider one? Where do you want the spider one? How?
Right at the top.
Right at the top.
Yeah, just to annoy you.
No, what kind
It's all about Laura. It's all about. I'm not coming back on this. No, I'm telling them I'm not coming back on this.
That's it. Raz's last appearance.
How, Raz? Come on.
Are we done?
Are we putting it up there?
Put it where you want. I'm not really bothered.
Have we got any ones that we could put lower? Have we got any other categories that we can put it really, really low?
This is Laura. It's Laura at the end of term. You know what it's like the end of term. Like, you know, we've all switched off. We're all on Christmas holidays now. You know
very ratty. Very ratty.
Oh, yeah. You should have said something. I'd never noticed.
Aye.
Right. Last one is the rope from the tree to the tree house. Sorry, from the house to the tree house, or the house to the tree house to the house. Whichever way you're looking at it, really. Just what do we think about this one? Is it a decent one?
It's alright, isn't it?
For me, it's alright, but
after you've went through all that, if you've been inflicted all them pranks, the last thing you're going to do is go on the rope, because the kid's clever and you know what's going to happen. You can preempt it. They're both thick as mints. It's pretty shit. There we go.
You're so vulnerable on that rope. You know what I mean?
Well, I certainly would be vulnerable on that rope. It would have to be. It would have to be like a steel rope, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? I would just pull the treehouse towards me.
I know you would. Kevin would be like, "Whoa!" Spitting off one at you too there, like. For me, like, I'm not falling for the treehouse.
No, definitely not one.
Like, that is definitely not happening. Like, definitely not happening. Stu's asking whether we can use any of these as pranks on James Madison at the weekend.
Tripwire.
Yeah, maybe it's a tripwire eye, or just use a very angry Fabian Shaw. I'm sure he'd be like a human tripwire. Dan, he says it doubles as an escape route and booby trap. A victory lap for Kevin. So in terms of Kevin's thinking, he's up there, like. But yeah, I think there's too many inconsistencies as well. I'm going to go into it now.
I can't believe we're still going through this.
When the fall on the swing, if you look at the height of the house and where they are on the line compared to when they hit the wall, it doesn't match.
You need to get more seriously. You need to speak to people.
When did you watch it?
Like, I haven't watched it this year, but I remember.
Shut up. And you know all this detail about it. I don't believe you.
Yeah, because I pay attention to films.
I don't.
Yes. But you know,
we would never guess, Laura.
Next time when you watch
if we had done a Die Hard one, I would have been non-stop chat.
Right.
Oh, cool.
I would have had.
I've got a funny feeling what's going to happen on the next episode.
I don't think we're allowed to do one. Gallowgateshots doesn't agree with
it. It's been overruled. You know what I mean? Because it's not a Christmas movie apparently, but there we go.
Bullshit. It's a Christmas film.
It's a Christmas film. It's 100%.
It's all of ExtraTyne. Die Hard's a Christmas film.
Yes. Of course it is. Of course it is. Right. Anyway, just to cap that off, we're putting it in who would fall for this. So just to finish, I know everyone will be waiting with bated breath for this one. So there we go. There's the final tier list. The the ExtraTyne tier list. I'm missing my words up now. I've had too much.
Tarantulas.
You fucking dick. Like, you know, people could be watching like all sorts now, couldn't they? Instead of like watching us. Anyway,
watching us three knackers.
Absolutely donuts. Massacre this tier list situation. Anyway, back to the tier list. So there we go. There's our comprehensive tier list of the traps from Home Alone, and I said Hollow Green Alone.
That's a whole other film.
That is all right. Raza, what do you think would be the result if Kevin lived in Hollow Green? What do you reckon?
He would have been kicked to bits, wouldn't he?
He would have.
He would have been bullied or something like that. But no, he wouldn't last it. He wouldn't last the 2 minutes, would he? They would have pitched all his micro machines, and they would have probably used his own gun to shoot him. So,
so if you do want to get involved, there is a tier list. You can go and do it yourself with your family if you've got a few.
I'm in tiers. I don't know about the tier list. I'm close to tiers. Wrap it up, man, will you?
If you've got a few spare hours on Christmas Day and you fancy doing something,
and you don't like your family, you can take part in the tier list.
You can do it for yourself.
Christ almighty.
Laura, we've gone from 30, around 40 people to now 11. So thank you to those 11 Gallowgate shots.
Them 11 must be as mental as us. So hats off to you guys.
I think they've probably just left. They've just left their.
Going
to make a cup of tea, maybe. I don't know. Maybe put hot pokers in their eyes, or put a hot dog in their eye. Who knows?
My name's Roger Banks. Good night. Bye.
Right. So that is the comprehensive tier list done. Marked it off. We'll be back next week with probably more football chat.
We'll probably not. When am I coming back again? We've just ruined what chances, haven't we?
I mean, you two might be back, but this could be my swan song now. You know what I mean? This could be like, this could be the end of me. It'll be probably Jess. They'll be begging for you to come back, Jess. So don't make any plans. Stay available because I'm sure you'll be back on before long. Right. So, Laura, as ever, thank you for joining us, and Raza, thank you for gracing us with your wonderful presence. I really appreciate it.
I've thoroughly enjoyed myself this evening. It's been grand.
I've had an absolute tickety-boo time. I tell you what, absolutely brilliant. Thank you for all of those people who joined us at the start. Cheers for sticking in. And then
them who disappeared just because you've never seen Home Alone.
We can see you sneaking out. So thank you to the hardcore 10 to 13 people who stuck with us to the bitter end. I'm sure you're exhausted as Marv and Harry were when they finished with all those pranks, but I do appreciate it. It's a marvelous thing, So thank you to all those people who have watched, and make sure you like and subscribe because there's always excellent content like this on the channel. And big shout out to all those people who are still with us. So Tom, Freddie, hopefully Marty's still hanging around there somewhere, and Dan, especially. If Die Hard's not a Christmas film, I had no right in winning my work's Christmas jumper competition. So I think that puts the exclamation point on the fact that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Simple as that. So
there you go.
I think on that note, Raza, I think we'll all say good night. So thank you very much for joining us. Plenty more content coming. Hopefully a win against Leicester at the weekend. The lads are going to absolutely smash it. Eddie Howe's Black and White Army. The signs are gone. The future.
How are the lads?
How are the lads? See you later, everybody. Thank you and good night. Enjoy Sex and the City, Laura. Ta-ra.
See you there. Bye.